If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. First, it's free. Second, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so you can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever else podcasts are heard. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast, all in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
The stories, the hustle, the grind, the push, the pain, the time, love, the sweat, the tears, goes beyond the lights, the stage, the fame, and the message stays the same. You're listening to the Indie Takeover.
Come on, help me say it. I see a new day dawning. I see a new day dawning. I believe it's almost here. I believe it's almost here. Lord, we are standing in your presence. Lord, we are waiting patiently. Our hearts are ready to receive all of the blessings that you have for me. Open up the floodgates. 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 Send your rain. Your rain. Your rain. Your rain. Come on, clap your hands, everybody. Let me hear you make some noise out there. Let's go higher here. Hey! Breakthrough coming. I feel a breakthrough coming. I believe it's almost here. I believe it's almost here. I feel my increase coming. I feel my increase coming. I believe it's almost here. I believe it's almost here. Lord, we are standing in your presence. Lord, we are waiting patiently. Our hearts are ready to receive all of the blessings that you have for me. Open up the floodgates. 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 Send your rain. Your rain. Your rain. Expectancy. Come on, put your hands together, believing that God is getting ready to open up the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing. I believe I got a witness Everybody. Ow!
Welcome to the Indie Takeover. This is your host, Jeremy Gibson, and I am sitting here with gospel recording artists. And listen, we got some great news that we're about to drop in a minute. But I am joined by my brother all the way from Indianapolis, and he is here to share not only his music, but his mission and his journey in gospel and music and life. And I am happy to hear from everybody. Let's welcome Demetrius West. Now, Demetrius, I need you to introduce yourself, not in the words I use, but you tell people that may not be familiar with who you are, maybe just waking up and don't know gospel music. Let them know who you are, where you're from, and what you do.
Yeah, so first of all, Jeremy, thanks, man, for having me on the show, bro. Like, I really appreciate it, man. I'm sending you love all the way. You on a whole other side of the country, man.
Right.
You love from Indianapolis, Indiana, man. Just a family guy. Love my daughter, my wife, man. So just I'm pretty much like right now. I think God has given us the ability to sit home and because we travel so much and do so much. So being able to really spend time with my family, my wife and my daughter, man, and it's been incredible. So I'm loving every bit of it.
Absolutely.
And that's pretty much all about me. I'm just a kid from the west side of Indianapolis that God chose to use me for this for whatever reason He did, man. And so I'm excited, bro.
Now tell me about Indianapolis. What you said, the West Side. Is the West Side? Is that like the hood or that's the suburb?
Yeah. So I grew up in we call it 2G or Third Ward, and it's like I grew up in the hood, bro. So like, but I thank God because I never subscribed to any of the surroundings that I'm in. Always been a church boy. I was raised by my great grandmother, a 69-year-old when I was born.
Wow.
So of course, Monday through Sunday, Doc, we was in church every single day. So Monday night brotherhood meeting, Tuesday night drill team, Wednesday night Bible study, Thursday night choir rehearsal, Friday night everybody rehearsal, Saturday night cleaning up the church, Sunday we had church all day long, man. So I'm a church kid, man. I'm a millennial that's a church kid, man, and I'm happy. I'm so happy about my roots and where I come from.
Yeah. So where obviously you say you were born and raised in church, but where was that moment where you said gospel music, this is what I want to do? Like, was music always a part of that? Or, did you kind of, most of us raised in church, we're forced to do so, voluntold to sing in the choir.
You really want to hear this story, man?
That's what we're here for.
Cool, man. So I can remember being 4 years old. I grew up at a church called Messiah Missionary Baptist Church, where I lived with my great grandparents, and they actually built the church from the ground up. So my great grandmother was the minister of music for many years. And when she decided to retire, we had a brother by the name of Rodney Bryant, who was he became the minister of music. He has hits like He's a Keeper, We Offer Praise. So he became the minister of music, and for whatever reason, I don't know if they saw the gift was inside of me. The copy paper, where you can make copies out of, like where you print copies of paper. Well, that box, they would stand me on that. I was 4 years old, man. I'll never forget. And they would stand me on that box, and I would direct a mass choir, bro. And then it's like, when I would go home, my nana, who was my great grandmother, I would line like teddy bears and we had like a step coming down. We had some steps coming down the house where the piano was right by the steps, and I would line like teddy bears and batteries and flashlights, anything that you can name. I would pretend that's my choir. My grandmother would be like, "Yo, you want to do this? Show me that you know how to teach parts." And this is like 4 or 5 years old, so I'm learning how to teach parts and direct and all that type of stuff, man. And so initially, you know, that's when the love of gospel music, when I knew that I wanted to do it. By the time I got to high school, man, I was like, man, I don't know if I don't want to do this, man.
Right.
I don't see nobody rich that's like in gospel, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see nobody with a whole bunch of money or that type of stuff. So I went to school to be a computer analyst.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if I wasn't in gospel music right now, I would be a computer analyst. When I was in school, my first semester, God stopped me. He was like, "Yo, this is not what the calling of your life is."
Wow.
I put you in a place. I had your great grandmother reared you for that reason, because I knew, and I was just like, okay, God, I don't gotta be rich, but just provide for me.
Yeah.
Just be the God that you said that you are. You said that you own a cattle on 1,000 hills. I don't want everyone to have to worry about a bill or worry about a mortgage or worry about car notes and none of that type of stuff. Do what you said that you're gonna do. And bruh, I'm gonna be honest with you. Ever since then, man, God has provided for me since that day.
I love it. Because that is how God is. Like, when we, you know, out of our obedience and out of our like submission to his will for our lives, like it is so real.
When you're faithful to him, he has no other choice but to be faithful to you. And the truth of the matter is, I watched Oprah Winfrey one time, and she said the two most important days of your life is when you were born and when you figure out why.
Yeah.
And so when you figure out the why you were born and what you were placed here for, because I would be sitting in corporate America right now probably miserable.
Right.
Miserable.
And so many are. Many are, yeah.
Got a clock. And now, don't get me wrong. I do know artists, and this is nothing slighting artists that work. I do know tons of major artists that you would never think of in gospel music that work full-time jobs. And that's not not to them. But for me, I know I would be miserable working a 9-to-5 every day.
Absolutely. And I just think that is the journey that most creatives experience. You know, some don't, you know, me, I listen, I love all things creative, but like you said, I work a 9-to-5. Yeah. But I also have set, like my vision for the now and the future is like, this is just for right. Like I'm not locked in. Like, a lot of people feel like that's the dead end. Like, once I'm working or doing, you know, one thing, like, it stops all opportunity for any doors to be open. Absolutely. And that's not true. Like, there's nothing impossible for God. Absolutely. But I wanted to go back to you, you know, directing at 4, standing on top of copy paper boxes and whatnot. I know your great grandmother was an inspiration to you then, and taught you or helped rear you into being, you know, a musical, you know, I guess, prodigy at that point. Because I don't know many 4-year-olds that's directing choirs and teaching parts. Yeah. But in gospel music at that time, can you remember like who, you know, what were some of the people that you were listening to that you said,
oh God, you know what? And the thing about it is, I want to say this too. Like, I didn't grow up in one of those starchy Christian homes. Like, it wasn't that. So I was allowed to listen to anything that wasn't a lot of explicits and all that type of stuff. I was allowed to listen. Like, I'm a huge, we'll talk about the gospel side of it, but anybody knows me, dog, I'm 33 years old. I'm riding down a car every single day playing Luther Vandross and Anita Baker. I'm a huge...
What you say?
I'm a huge Luther Vandross. I'm a huge Anita Baker fan. And the reason why I'm a huge Babyface fan, one, because he's from Indianapolis, two,
Right.
And he's written the songs of our lives, man. And so with Luther, he's a great BGB arranger and all that type of stuff. So I listen to all that type of stuff. I listen to arrangements, and I listen to, like, Anita knows how to control a crowd. She knows how to control a band. And so I listen to that type of stuff. But outside of that, you're gonna find an amalgam of things on my playlist at any time, bro. Like from Jeezy on down to T.I. to, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
So
right.
it just is what it is. But as far as like what I grew up in the house, man, like I still got records in my office at church right now, man. Records. 45.
Oh, trust me. That's my life. I love records.
Records, dog. Like, I'm a huge fan of Walter Hawkins, that whole Hawkins movement. I'm a huge fan of Andre Crouch.
Yeah.
Both of them from the West Coast.
Absolutely.
Huge fan of those. I'm a huge Donald Lawrence fan. I'm a huge Ricky Dillard fan. And so the truth of the matter is, from Babyface to Anita to Luther to Donald to definitely Andre and Walter, if you put them all in a mixing pot and you just like stew it and make the bubbles come up and like I would be that. Like that's me. Like if you put all that in one, that's your boy. That's your boy.
Now I'm assuming that you were going for Babyface and the Teddy Riley Babyface.
Absolutely, bro. Bro, I was on there hollering, man. No, don't get me wrong. I love Teddy Riley's production. I love everything, that whole New Jack Swing thing that he brought to the thing. But I'm a dog, like I'm a Babyface fan. Like if you think of some of his catalog, and I'm just not saying.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm not just saying only what he's written for himself, but from Beyonce to Brandy to, the list just goes on and on and on and on.
Right.
That dude has a catalog. Like he don't never have to make another record in his life, man.
Oh no, and that's been at least for the last 2 decades.
At least. Right. You think of that whole Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. How he catapulted off of them, and even with how, dude, it's just he has a rich legacy, and I'm standing on his shoulders right now, even as a gospel artist.
Right.
It sounds so weird, but when you think of production, when you think of writing, because we as songwriters now, we don't write songs of substance, bro. It's like we write these A-B choruses, the feel-good stuff, the stuff that tantalizes people's emotions. But you talking about when Walter Hawkins wrote, "When I think about what God has done for me," he said, "I will open up my heart to everyone that I see and tell them that Jesus Christ is." We don't write songs like that with pure substance of the song. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like Kirk is a genius. Kirk Franklin is a genius.
Absolutely.
When it comes to fluid melodies and making it, dude. Like I'm in love with people that just write music that stands the test of time.
Yeah, and I think we're seeing that too with these verses, not concerts, but concerts somewhat. But hearing like these throwback hits where it's like, man, I remember that. And even the climate of our time now, we're seeing how relevant a lot of these messages were. And I feel, because I listen to everything. Like you mentioned Luther, and just a small deviation from the conversation, I love the fact that he is singing background on the Wiz soundtrack. Like, I'm like, y'all don't even realize, like...
But not only that did he sing background, but he arranged the background.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, I just love musical genius. Like,
absolutely.
My wife and my daughter and people that are close to me know that I hate, like, this is about to sound crazy, I hate unnecessary noises and stuff like I just hate, like, sometimes the walls bother me at some point, like, you know what I'm saying? But when you put on something that's like that has so much substance to it,
right.
like, you talk about Luther, like, I was singing Any Love when I was 8 years old, brother. Like, everyone needs a love. You know, I don't know what that means. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know,
right.
like, but as you get older, like, stuff means something totally different. It's so amazing to be loved. You
right.
know, like that type of stuff. And I've looked over some of the stuff. I recorded a medley of songs from James Cleveland on my past record. Well, I guess it's the current, because the new one is not out yet, but on my current record. And when I was and we were singing "Every Day Is the Day."
Right.
You just sing that stuff as you a kid, man, but you don't really understand it. And it just, when you become older and you experience stuff,
right.
Like, those lyrics was powerful, and I didn't even know.
No idea.
I had no idea what that meant. You know what I'm saying?
I think one of the things you said it about the writing and how, you know, substantial the lyrics were, right? Yeah. I really think it is attributed to, and I think that's not even just gospel music, just all music, especially that was birthed out of like the 60s, 70s. I think in our community as Black people, there was just a different drive, right? And a different understanding that we didn't have time to waste.
No.
Right? So even you look at Motown and how that was formed and operated, where a lot of the classic Motown hits were created in like on the spot moments. Like we got everything. We got horn section. We got
right here,
everything.
Like, soon as Smokey done writing the song, they was right in the studio recording it at that moment. Right,
and we don't have time to wait. So now everything is being created in the moment. We're done. Here we go. You know, straight. And I think now people have the opportunity or the access to create so quickly, but it's like, but you're creating out of I won't even say out of necessity, but a lot of people are creating out of boredom, creating out of the just like, I want to.
Is that real? Well, I guess it would still be real creativity. But the thing about it is, it won't last, because the truth of the matter is that nowadays, with the attention span that we have as consumers, I'm not talking about black, white, red. I'm talking about as a consumer across the board. Our attention span is not that long.
No, not at all.
After a record comes out, after 2 weeks, it's dead.
And
you know what I'm saying?
Right. Where
it's dead.
Where you had music on the charts for months. Right. So you lucky if you charting for a couple of days. Like, that's so real. Do you feel that
before our new single that's out, my last single, Open the Floodgates, was out. I think it was 8 weeks on the charts at number 2, and then it just dropped because our attention span, we don't have.
Absolutely.
It goes back where our attention span. And at a time where I can remember, you know, Kirk Franklin would stay in the early 2000s, Kirk Franklin would stay on the 6 or 7 months.
Yeah.
6 or 7 months, at number 1 for 6 or 7 months. And now we're averaging, we're batting, you know, weeks.
Right.
So my fault, bro. But go ahead.
No. I wanted to ask you, do you feel like that is attributed to, I mean, you said it, that, you know, our lack of, or our short attention span, but do you think that, because gospel music, there's still gospel hits coming out at 6 minutes long, right? And on radio, you got what, 4 minutes and 30 seconds.
You got that time.
You don't have that time. And even then, in R&B, hip hop, most songs are 2 minutes, two, 3 minutes, and that's it.
Because most radio stations nowadays, I hope I don't get in trouble for this, but most
you good.
radio stations nowadays, the truth of the matter, it's about dollars and cents. And that's for anybody.
Yeah.
It's about dollars and cents. And so how many songs can we play before we get to the commercial?
Right.
And so a lot of artists don't realize that it's only 30 slots.
Yeah.
It's only 30 slots. And they're like, how many can we get in before we go to the commercial break?
Right.
And so with that being said, your song has to be that strong that it competes with 30 people.
Right.
Or 29 other artists that are trying to get to the same spot that you're trying to get to.
Right.
With the time limit that's given. And so you got whereas, R&B, they can play more artists because most R&B songs, I had a young lady came up to me one time, I was in a rental car place, and she was like, I was in Florida or something like that. She's like, I know you're a gospel singer, your name is Demetrius West. I said, yes, man. She said, I just got one question though. She said, I really love your music. She said, why are gospel songs always so long? I was like, I don't know.
It's an experience.
It's an experience. It's the message that we got to get. It's the message that we got to get out. And so she's like, when you're dealing with R&B, they're like 2.5 minutes, maybe 3. Sometimes gospel artists like 4:50, 5 minutes, 6 minutes.
Absolutely. We got to take you somewhere. That's just like preachers. I'm not going to be before you long. 2.5 hours later, I'm coming to a close.
I'm getting ready to close.
Getting ready. I'm not closing.
But I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready to close.
But it's so real, I think, too. And I'm not saying that as a negative, because I feel like gospel has a very unique presence and a unique structure that those that are consumers of music in general understand that, listen, when a gospel hit comes on, you're not getting 2-3 minutes. If it's traditionally the gospel that we want, listen, because we got to tarry sometime. We got to be there. We got to work through this thing. That's why I love the fact that we now have the opportunity to navigate even beyond radio. We can start building our own marketing strategies that still get our music out without compromising the integrity or just the sanctity of what our material is, So you as a creator, as a writer, as a leader, do you feel that in your creating, especially in moments like these, do you feel like you're creating for the time, the people, and when I say the time, I mean just specifically even down civil unrest and social injustice and political leaders, and just it's a very unique time. I'm 33 myself. I have never seen the world like this, so do you, in your creation, are you motivated by that? What inspires you and motivates you in your creation specifically?
So specifically, let me answer the question first.
Okay.
Specifically, I'm a choir boy, so I love choir music, and I'm one of the things that Kerry Douglas, who owns Black Smoke Music Worldwide, who is the label that I'm under, he said the other day, he said, yo, do you realize that you are the only choir that has made national platform? Oh, I'm going to get in trouble. They made national platform. And when I say that, I mean, how can I say this? Radio platform. Let me just say it that way.
Okay.
That's made national radio play in the last 15 years as a newer artist. Because if you look, there really hasn't been any newer artists up until 2 years ago. Then there's some changes that's happening now.
Right, absolutely.
Up until 2 years ago, I was the only artist in the past 15 years that that really has made a break in Christian music. And so I think that's because because everybody had shifted to this praise and worship thing.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody shifted to the CCM thing or this group thing or a solo artist type of situation. And so I think what made I stepped out in a lane that wasn't nobody else in.
Okay.
So to answer your question, my music is my inspiration to that is definitely due to the fact that I know that there's a lane that people want to hear. They're a group of millennials. They're people that still like choir church music. And so my inspiration to be creative is sticking to that particular lane, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, I'm doing something this coming Monday. I'm not going to share all the details, but I'm doing something this coming Monday to answer back to the current situation that we're in now. And I'm gonna be right there. Okay.
You mentioned choir, being a choir boy, being a choir head, and I love choir music. Love choir music.
Sir.
And we the same age, so you have to be a fan of the #1 choir movie that everybody should love. And if you're not, I'm going to be surprised. Sister Act. Listen. Don't watch that movie with me.
My favorite movie, both 1 and 2.
Don't watch either movie with me. I'm quoting every line from beginning to end.
I'm quoting every line and I'm singing every line, bro. Like you got, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Like you got to know me. Like that's one of my. I was mad because I wanted to audition for that movie, Sister Act 2. I wanted to audition for that movie. I was too young.
It's the class. I just knew that they were going to do my Sister Act 3.
So listen, here's the thing. I bought me and my wife tickets to the play in London, or was it Paris? Whichever one. That was supposed to happen this summer. Of course, because of Corona, it got canceled.
Right.
So all the money went down the drain. But I was really upset about that, bro. Like, bro, that's one of my favorite all-time movies. Like, real talk.
I think and I don't like to consider myself a millennial because I don't feel like I am. But
we old, Doc. We on the backside of the millennials.
Right. I'm Generation X. The funny thing is, I feel like even though Sister Act 2 specifically wasn't like a Christian movie, it was like the only display in 30 years that we saw that made choir music cool, right?
Dope.
So now, 30 years? I think Sister Act came out in 93.
Hold on, though. Here's the funny thing is, when that movie came out, you saw such a surgence of, remember schools had gospel choirs?
Yeah, man.
Like, there was such a major surgence when it came to school gospel choirs. Like when I was in high school, gospel choir was an elective course. Like you could take that just like you get credit for that just like gym or band or anything like that. So I was just like, that really set the trend to make like gospel choirs like stupid cool.
Right. And now we have, and I want to get your perspective on this. And now we have another kind of resurgence of making choir music popular with another platform that's not necessarily church, with Kanye West Sunday Service Choir, right? And I'm not talking about Kanye West as an individual or any of his stuff, but the Sunday Service Choir. And I remember when they first started coming out, I was like, what is this? Like, I was just seeing clips on Instagram, like, okay, these random people in these muumuus singing in the desert, right? And then like the popularity of it, I was like, oh, what is this? Oh, they opening up a Coachella or they, whatever. And now an audience that probably had no idea what choir music is, because, they're singing songs that we grew up on, what do you feel about specifically the Sunday Service Choir and Jason White and, kind of what they're doing? What do you think that does or is doing for gospel music?
God bless their movement.
Listen. So, in blessing the movement, what do you? So I asked the question because I do feel that.
No, I'm gonna say this though. And I'm not. I think with the resurgence of that whole movement and you remember the royal wedding when we were identified to the Kingdom Choir out of London.
Right.
I think that made choir music cool again. I think it did.
Mm-hmm.
And to answer your question in depth, the long or short of it is I appreciate the God bless their movement.
You gotta finish that. You appreciate the what?
God bless their movement.
I think it's interesting because where we find, like you brought up the point of churches, the industry kind of shifting from what I feel is kind of the heartbeat of gospel music. Like choirs make gospel music, right? Mm-hmm. In terms of the sound, I remember years ago, I was asked to sing at a wedding, and in the wedding, they wanted us to do the "Oh Happy Day" Sister Act 2 version at the wedding, right? And I was just like, this is so random. Like, who wants these 8 black folks singing in these choir robes to, right? I mean, even from the la 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 la's, like it was, listen, random. But I find it interesting that even in our churches, that have gone away from like really, and I'm in the Bay Area, so there's very few churches that have big choirs. Yeah. When as a child, pretty much every church had a choir. Every we was having musicals and everybody coming out, but I love the fact that now you're seeing like you said, like a spark and an excitement within our churches for choir music again, mm-hmm. And I think, artists such as yourself that are now giving current choir content to pull from to, now we can teach, songs that, we don't have to keep doing songs from the 90s, not to say that anything's wrong with it, but there's current songs that are relevant and now, have a up-to-date sound and all of that. And I feel like, what you have stated just in terms of understanding that your niche or niche or whatever is understanding that you are trailblazing and blazing a trail that fits you, right? You're not trying to be anybody else. You're not trying to, and it's instinctively and intrinsically Demetrius West, right? We ain't got to figure out, well, who is Demetrius? Listen, you can hear my music and you can see my, whatever. And I appreciate that about you. And even in this dialogue that you aren't afraid to paint the picture of where your focus and your drive and your motivation is.
Absolutely.
So you mentioned
I can't be bald, Reverend.
Listen. Well, listen. We the back end millennials, so you know I know. But I want to say
we was raised on Nuck If You Buck.
Right. We know what it means. See, people play it now and they want to dance to it. But we know when that came on what the message really was.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
But I feel like where you are now, like you said, you have a project coming out. But where you are now is pretty pivotal because you are offering music to an industry, to an audience that I say is hungry for it, right?
Yeah.
And so with, you know, a new project coming out, new material, what is it that you want to deliver aside from the music itself? What is that message, the goal, the intent behind everything that we can expect to see from you?
Bruh, it's real straight to the point. Jesus, man. Like, you know, we are in some devastating times. I mean, beyond the devastating times that we're in. Nobody would have told me when I woke up on January the 1st of 2020 that we would literally be in hell right now.
Right.
I wouldn't have believed you. You know what I'm saying? From, you know, the top of the year, Kobe dying till, you know, Corona to this civil unrest that we're in right now. We're experiencing hell on earth, like if we be all the way honest. And so my message is a message of hope, bruh. Like, just pointing people back to Jesus. Bible says, if my people who are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face, watch this, then turn from their wicked ways, then I'll hear from heaven and heal their land. And so my whole purpose here, man, is to point people not in the direction of people that are perfect. Because we all are flawed.
Yeah.
Every last one of us. Every last one of us is flawed. This is not a white versus black situation that we're in. Mm-hmm. We're in a crisis worldwide.
Absolutely.
I tell you how much we're not in a white versus black, because I saw a police officer knock down a 75-year-old man today. 75-year-old man today. White man. A white police officer knocks down a 75-year-old white man.
Yeah.
And all I want people to do, not see white Jesus, not see black Jesus, not see purple Jesus or green Jesus, although we know what color he was. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We know what color he was. Kirk Franklin said, it doesn't matter what color you are, just as long as your blood was red. Right. And so my whole thing is that I want to show people the real Jesus, not the religious Jesus that separates us every single week.
Yeah.
I want to show people who Jesus really is. And Jesus is grace. Jesus is love.
Yeah.
Jesus is peace.
Absolutely. A peace that we need. A peace that passes
all understand.
Absolutely.
All understand it.
Absolutely. Well, brother, we got to wrap it up, but I want to give you an opportunity to let us know about this new project that is dropping. And by the time folks hear this interview, it'll be dropping this week. So, So tell us where we can get it. What's it called? And how we can connect with you and follow you on social media and whatnot. Let us know.
Yeah, so first of all, you connect me on social media. I am Demetrius West on Instagram, Demetrius West on Facebook. Real simple, real easy. hit me up, y'all, so I can let y'all know, when we coming to your city. We're coming out to the West Coast, man, so we definitely need to hook up, Jeremy.
Absolutely.
So follow us on all those social media outlets. And then Friday, June the 19th, we're releasing our brand new project called Do It Again. And I'm telling you, if you love choir music, it's got something on there for everybody. It doesn't matter if you're 2 or if you're 102. It's got something on there for everybody. And I know that I pray that it blesses you, man. So it's called Do It Again. It's available on I was going to say Instagram. It's available on Instagram. But it's available on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, all the digital outlets available through Black Spoke Music worldwide.
Absolutely. Brother, I want to thank you so much for your time. Thank you for sharing your gift, your message. All y'all creatives that's listening, man, connect with this brother. Support his music, support his work. Listen, he got a good heart, man. He got a good heart. Good heart, good mind. And I
got a mind to serve him, Doc. Got a mind to serve him.
Listen, and that's what we need in these last and evil days. Yeah. I sound old.
You are.
Listen. No, I don't like that. Anyway, y'all stay locked. This is the Indie Takeover Show. This is my guest, Demetrius West, and I'm your host, Jeremy Gibson. Tune in next time, same place.
This song is for everybody that feel you've been skipped over. God's getting ready to call your name. JP, help me say it. My name on